Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Melissa Gilbert has always been the kind of storyteller whose words feel like sunlight through stained glass, warm, illuminating, and deeply personal. When she opened her heart this week to reflect on the loss of her idol, fans around the world felt the tremor of sincerity that has always defined her. For generations who grew up watching her as Laura Ingalls Wilder on Little House on the Prairie, Melissa's voice carries a rare authenticity, one that bridges the past and the present, the screen and the soul. But this time, it wasn't a role, a line, or a performance. It was pure emotion, unfiltered and honest. As she paid tribute to a woman whose influence shaped her life in ways she's still discovering. In a heartfelt reflection shared with her fans, Melissa spoke about how surreal it felt to lose someone who had guided her creative spirit, inspired her resilience, and modeled what grace under pressure truly meant. Her words painted a vivid picture of admiration and grief interwoven, like a letter written not just to the person she lost, but to every dreamer who's ever been inspired by a guiding light. "It seems unreal," she wrote, her voice trembling through the lines. "There are people you think will always be there, voices that echo in your heart even when the world grows quiet. To realize they're gone feels like waking from a dream you never wanted to end." For Melissa, this wasn't just the loss of a celebrity or mentor. It was the closing of a chapter that began long before she stepped onto a set. Her idol had been more than an artist. She was a compass. Melissa described how this person's courage, creativity, and humanity had been a constant North Star through the chaos of Hollywood and the challenges of growing up in the public eye. "She made me believe that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the purest kind of strength," Melissa said. "She showed me that storytelling isn't about pretending. It's about truth wrapped in compassion." As Melissa revisited old memories, moments when her idol's performances moved her to tears, or when a quote offered comfort during uncertain times, she allowed fans a glimpse into how deeply this connection ran. She spoke of being a young girl on set, listening to the rhythm of seasoned actors, and feeling drawn to the quiet authority of women who carried both wisdom and warmth. Her idol had embodied that balance perfectly, a blend of poise and fire, of empathy and power. "I think that's why she touched me so much," Melissa confessed. "She was everything I wanted to be when I grew up. And, in some ways, everything I still aspire to be." The tribute was not only about mourning, but also about gratitude. Melissa's reflections glowed with appreciation for the legacy her idol left behind, the kind of influence that transcends fame and becomes part of the human fabric. She shared stories about how this woman's performances had taught her to listen deeply, to stay curious, and to keep her integrity intact even when the industry tried to chip away at it. "She made art feel sacred," Melissa said softly. "Not something to consume, but something to care for, to nurture, to protect." She gave permission to women to take up space and to speak truth, even when it was uncomfortable. In the long arc of her career, Melissa has become a living example of those very ideals. Her portrayal of Laura, the spirited pioneer girl with braids and dreams as vast as the prairie, mirrored her own determination to hold on to innocence in a complicated world. Now, decades later, her tribute revealed that much of that strength had been nurtured by watching her idol live out those values in real life. "I think we all need someone to show us it's possible," Melissa reflected. "That you can be kind and still be strong. That you can be open-hearted and still survive in a business that sometimes rewards the opposite." As she described the day she heard the news, the tone of her message shifted into quiet disbelief. "The world stopped for a second," she said. "I felt like part of my own history had been erased. It's strange someone you've never met can still feel like family." Her grief was universal, echoing the collective sadness shared by countless others who had been touched by this figure's work. Yet Melissa's words had a particular intimacy, as if she were speaking to a friend across time. She admitted she rewatched some of her idol's old interviews, looking for comfort in familiar gestures, the way she laughed, the cadence of her voice, the glimmer of intelligence in her eyes. It reminded me that art never really dies, she mused. It just changes form, moves through us, becomes part of who we are. Fans flooded her social media with messages of love, many expressing how Melissa herself had become that same kind of inspiration for them. It was a full-circle moment to remind her that the torch her idol once carried now burns in Melissa's hands. "You were my childhood hero," one fan wrote. "The way you talk about your idol is how I feel about you." The parallel wasn't lost on Melissa. She acknowledged how humbling it was to know that her own work has given others the same comfort she once found in her mentors. "That's how it's supposed to be," she replied. "We pass it on. We keep the light moving forward." There's something almost poetic about the way Melissa weaves grief into gratitude. Her reflections are not confined to sadness, but expand into celebration of artistry, humanity, and the quiet magic of connection. She talked about how the loss reminded her to be present, to cherish the people who guide us, to say thank you while there's still time. "It's so easy to assume there will be another chance," she said. "But life doesn't promise that. I've learned to tell people when they move me, because those words can outlive us all." Her tribute also carried a profound reminder about legacy, the invisible threads that connect generations of storytellers. Melissa acknowledged how her idol spirit continues to ripple through the world, not just in film or television, but in the way people treat each other, the way they face hardship with dignity, the way they find beauty in ordinary moments. "That's the real art," she wrote. "Not the applause or the awards, but the quiet influence, the way one heart can change another without ever meeting face to face." In revisiting her own career through the lens of this tribute, Melissa seemed to rediscover her purpose. She spoke about wanting to honor her idol not just through words, but through action, by continuing to tell stories that uplift, heal, and remind audiences of what truly matters. "I want to make work that feels like her spirit, brave, honest, full of compassion," she said. "That's how I'll keep her with me." The reflection ended not with finality, but with a sense of continuation. Melissa describes sitting outside at dusk, the sky brushed with fading light, and feeling an unexpected peace. "I thought about how energy doesn't disappear, just transforms," she wrote. "Maybe she's still here, just in a different form. Maybe that's why I felt a breeze right then, soft but steady, like a whisper saying, 'Keep going.'" There's something deeply human about the way Melissa allows herself to be vulnerable in the public eye. Her words remind readers that even those who seem strong and composed are not immune to heartbreak, that heroes grieve too. And yet, in her grief, she offers hope, a sense that loss, while painful, also deepens our capacity for love and empathy. Her tribute feels like an invitation to remember the people who've shaped us, to speak their names, to carry their lessons forward. Over the years, Melissa Gilbert has worn many hats: actress, director, activist, author, and advocate. But perhaps her greatest role is that of the truth teller, the bridge between generations of storytellers and dreamers. Her tribute stands as a reminder that we are all part of an unbroken chain of influence and inspiration. The people we admire become part of our DNA, their courage flowing into our own choices, their words echoing in our thoughts when we need strength. Even in the quiet moments, Melissa's voice lingers, a soft echo of gratitude that transcends mourning. Her reflection is not just about saying goodbye to an idol. It's about recognizing that love and admiration never really end. They evolve, they expand, they live on in the people we touch. As Melissa so beautifully expressed, she may be gone from this earth, but her light hasn't dimmed. It's just moved to another sky. And in that one line, she captured the essence of what it means to honor someone's legacy, not by holding on too tightly to what's gone, but by carrying forward what they gave us. In the end, Melissa Gilbert's tribute is not just a eulogy. It's a love letter to art, to influence, and to the eternal bond between teacher and student, dreamer and muse, heart and memory. Even in loss, there is beauty. Even in goodbye, there is grace. And for Melissa Gilbert, that truth, though painful, feels like the most precious gift her idol could have ever left behind.